Good day, my name is Angelo. Welcome to Nation's Voice Tower, and this is your most preferred YouTube channel. Now, I told you I want to be talking about the aftermath of the ruling of the tribunal on Wednesday, the 6th day of September 2023. Now, we've been having lots of information, very, very reliable secret infos about these judges and their dealings over time, because they have made themselves an object of public attention. So we have to always follow them up so we would know what they are doing, not just because that is our job, but because we really need to delve into these things. If we don't bring them out, I think it will go down in history that lots of things went wrong in a country as large as Nigeria, under the watch of lots of people. All right, but just for the consumption of our viewers and just for truth and transparency, we have to always establish these facts. What am I trying to say? News reaching us from very, very reliable sources. I told you earlier that the 5 judges involved in the tribunal have jetted out for Paris. All right. Now, what they went to do in Paris is yet to be established, but we all know, according to our sources, that they have a secret meeting in Paris. Apart from that, an update came from one of the members of the Labour Party, very reliable, that the secretary of the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal has informed the Labour Party lawyers and their counsel that records or copies of the judgment that was heard on Wednesday, the 6th day of September 2023, is not readily available. Now, in as much as it sounds funny, I think I will elaborate this. It sounds like a simple statement, right? Now, this judgment was read on Wednesday, 6th day of September. Just, I think, 3 days away. 3 days away. Now, why will a judgment that was read on television live not be ready? Why? Then what did the judges read? What did the judges read in court then, if the judgment is not ready? Now, there is an information that the judges need to, they need to sign this judgment before it's being passed on, all right, to the Labour Party and any other aggrieved party, in order for them to file for an appeal. So this copy of judgment is supposed to be available for these aggrieved parties that are dissatisfied with the judgment to file for an appeal to go further to the Supreme Court. All right. Now, this is 3 days gone, and the copies of the judgment has not been made ready yet. What does that mean? Does that mean the judges have not signed? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? What did they read in court if the judgment is not ready? Okay, this is a national time-bound constitutional matter. Like, what I'm trying to say is the Labour Party and the PDP have 14 days to file to the Supreme Court, and you've taken 3 days away telling them responses as absurd as the judgments are not ready yet. Then what do you expect them to do in a country, a federating unit like Nigeria? Wow, that is sad, because this is, let's say, a deliberate act to delay the filing of or the appeal of this judgment at the Supreme Court. Obviously, this is a deliberate act to do that, all right? Because obviously, you're trying to, okay, just like the delay tactics that INEC played during the course of the court proceedings. INEC delayed before they availed records of the bimodal voter accreditation system machines that were given to Labour Party. INEC delayed a whole lifetime before they availed the records for the beavers, all right? INEC also delayed before they availed forms EC8A and B and other forms that were supposed to be made available to the Labour Party, all right? So, once you take a look at this, you will understand that right from the day INEC got involved in this, there was a foul play, okay? And afterwards, after the judgment, the Court of Appeal is still playing a high level of distraction. Well, let's see if the 14 days will elapse. That confirms my updates that I gave you some hours ago about the fact that these 5 judges have jetted out to Paris for that secret meeting I told you. Yes, they have not told anybody, but our informants told us. And it's quite evident, because if these judges were on seat, at least one of them, then this judgment will have been signed, the forms will have been signed and availed for the aggrieved parties like the Labour Party and the PDP for them to go to the Supreme Court, because they have only a 14-day constitutional time frame. This is a massive call out for the 5 judges that got involved in the tribunal. Justice Haruna Samani Simon, the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Misitura Bolaji Yusuf, Justice Bello Muhammad, Justice Samuel Ada, and Justice Baloko Rumo Ugo. This goes to all of you, because I think you people know what you're doing, and in your wisdom, this shouldn't be happening, okay? It will go down in history somehow that before the watch or within the watch of 5 judges of the Court of Appeal from the judiciary with over 25 years of experience of legal practice each failed Nigeria. There is that. I have a second update. I'm going straight to Kogi State. In Kogi State, I have Governor Yahaya Bello. He has, of course, trust him, he came to react on the judgment of the tribunal. And what he said, of course, shocked me, but I expected that from Yahaya Bello. He's always very controversial. So in his own speech, he said, as far as he is concerned, in as much as he's celebrating the victory of Bola Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, and he's also trying to call on the other aggrieved parties to, instead of waste their time to go forth to appeal, he thinks they should come together and work for the building of Nigeria. All right, thereby he's saying from his own perspective, he doesn't think there is any need for any appeal. Governor Yahaya Bello, you are wrong. I will say it again and again. That is a very wrong notion, because in a space or in a judicial space where publicly justice was subverted, I think everybody would look for a redress, or everybody would look for a greater court or a higher court to find justice. Because even if you were found in these shoes of the Labour Party and Peter Obi, who readily won the election, to everybody's knowledge, even to the knowledge of the international community, you will file the same appeal to a higher court. So please, people like Yahaya Bello should not come to say things like this, because although this statement is politically motivated, but we should always stand for the truth and social justice at all times. Next video on your screens will be Governor Yahaya Bello. So please don't get annoyed while you watch him, please. So you listen to what he actually said post judgment of the tribunal. Stay tuned. More details after this video.
Nigerians within the country and in diaspora are happy. We are happy. I think it is time to settle down and face governance. Now, I'll advise all those that feel aggrieved. We have only one country, Nigeria. We must all come together and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We must all come together and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and ensure that we fix this country. Whatever the hardship we are facing today is the effect of the past. Definitely, we'll have Mr. Fix-It, who is coming to fix, or who is here already, trying his best, traveling across the world to ensure that Nigeria is fixed. So we are happy the matter is settled. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think there is any grounds for appeal. I would rather appeal to them that they should drop any appeal going to the higher court and then save the resources, save the trouble, advise their supporters, admonish them that we should accept yesterday's judgment, no flaw. I want to assure you that even judging from yesterday's pronouncement at the appeal court, we're going to have...
Alright, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Nation's Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. Now, from what he said, I have said that before, I had explained earlier, that statement was politically motivated. If he did not say that because he is from the APC, then he will say that because he is Yahya Bello. Yes, he is very controversial, and we should expect that from him. Now, lots of legal practitioners have been asked for their own take and perspectives or reactions on the judgment issued by the tribunal, the 5-man tribunal, as regards the petition of the Labour Party and the PDP against the President Bola Siwaju Ahmed Tinubu and his vice, Senator Kashim Shettima. All right. Now, I told you earlier that I was waiting for the reactions of bigger veils or bigger wigs in the judicial system or in the Nigerian Bar Association, like Olisa Abakoba, and I was looking for statements of Femi Falana, okay, to hear what they have to say about this judgment. But I have somebody too, a very big wig in the Nigerian Bar Association, Norrison Quakers. Now, Barrister Norrison Quakers is a very, very renowned son in Nigeria, and he's also one of the big wigs I have been waiting to hear from. Now, he gave his own perspective and said, of course, now, from a general point of view, according to him, although I don't readily agree with what he said, the court doesn't exist to embrace sentiments, all right, and emotions. So he feels that according to the ruling of what the judges said, the counsel to Labour Party failed to establish lots of evidence to prove their case. But I am saying no to that. Yes, I am saying no to that because we feel there was a foul play right from the first day of ruling, right from the first day of the court hearing. There was a foul play. For you not to even allow media devices into the courtroom, that tells us that there was a foul play from day one. All right. So I think Barrister Norrison Quakers, well, all of these barristers have their own parties they belong to, though not publicly. Some of them belong to these parties secretly. All right. So from this statement, he was trying to be neutral. Okay. But in being neutral, he accorded respect and credence to the judgment of the tribunal, okay, which if you ask me, I would say his statement was, let me not say politically motivated, but his statement was a sort of from a fence. Yes, he stood from a fence to make that statement, but finally he fell on the side of the judiciary. Now, next video is Barrister Norrison Quakers, so you will really hear his own take on everything. And this should be what I would call reactions post-tribunal judgment. Stay tuned.
You recall what Nikitobi said about sentiments and emotions, right? And then the part that really appealed to me was when he now said, I am not saying that the presidential election was conducted exceptionally well. But all I'm saying is that, look, the appellant should have produced credible evidence to sway the court to rule in his favor. Having not done so, there is no amount of sentiments and emotion, and that the court does not exist to embrace sentiments or emotion, and he ruled accordingly. So the challenge we have now is, in the light of what we have seen from the pronouncement of the court, is there any other thing that the Supreme Court will do to reverse the judgment? Well, all we can do is just wait and see, perhaps applying the doctrine of covering the field. Maybe the field was not well covered, and maybe the Supreme Court will then now look into it and come up with some better reasoning than the Court of Appeal. Mind you, this particular panel, you had a panel of 5. When it gets to Supreme Court, you then have a panel of 7. And let's see what the outcome will eventually be. Perhaps maybe they might have to raise a constitutional issue and then call the court to constitute a constitutional panel, perhaps now to consider the issue of 2/3 of 36 days and the Federal Capital Territory. Maybe that's perhaps the only thing, but the court has also touched that as well. So let's watch, let's wait and see what the outcome will be. What is my position on all of this? For me, I think the decision is watertight, and it's difficult to set it aside. Those are my thoughts.
All right, all said and done. You've listened to now 2 views already. Although Yahya Bello is not or should not be considered as someone who would actually give us a view, because he's from the ruling party already. So we shouldn't expect anything much of a positive report as regards the judgment by the tribunal. But Norrison Quakers, I am yet to establish which link he has with which party yet. But this particular reaction he gave from the judgment, well, I don't know, but he said he would see what would happen at the Supreme Court. That means he still has hope for the judicial system in Nigeria. Let us all, well, give it to the judicial system. Let's see what will happen at the Supreme Court. But I don't think anything good will surface from the Supreme Court, because the same Supreme Court is under the same government governed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I don't think something different will be out of the Supreme Court. Hence the reason why we will all watch the judiciary and see what they have to do as regards this government. If this government goes bad, of course, which is already happening, we owe it to the judiciary. If it becomes good, which I don't see any sort of reactions or any sort of show or any tendencies of it becoming so good in no distant time, then we will call the judiciary out. Thank you so much for staying with us. Like our videos, share them. Don't forget to watch till the end. Drop a comment for us in the comment section, because we need these comments to improve and we need it to go viral. And if you're watching me for the first time, please tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you would always get to link up with me anytime I'm on air. See you next time. Bye.